The main risk factors for preventable chronic diseases are tobacco use, lack of physical activity, and excessive alcohol use. The risk factors have caused unpreventable and preventable diseases like disability and death. To reduce these risk factors, prevent diseases or injury before it ever occurs, reduce the impact of a disease or injury that has already occurred, soften the impact of an ongoing illness or injury that has lasting effects. We all need to invest our time and money in improving healthy lifestyle behaviors by increasing physical activity and improving our diet. By doing this, almost 35% of early deaths will be avoided. Our integrative nutrition health specialist, Betty Olayinka Folarin Akinlosotu, aka BOFA, advocates for this every Sunday on Health Corner and Nutrition segments showing on Healthy Living with BOFA channel, where she also features professionals on interview with experts segments. Join us every Sunday, 2 p.m. US time, 7 p.m. UK and Nigerian time, 8 p.m. South African time. See you there.
It's always an honor being your host every Sunday, and I thank you very much for joining us on today's show. This is Healthy Living with BOFA Health and Nutrition Talk Show. I'm BOFA, Holistic Nutrition Health Specialist. Thank you very much for broadcasting with us every Sunday to make it happen, to make it real. God bless you all. Okay, what is our topic today? Our topic is stress. Stress management. Yes. There is one important fact I want you all to understand, and that is we all deal with stress at some point in our lives. It could be your job, a family illness, or money troubles. That is financial distress. But one thing that is sure and very inevitable is we deal with stress at some point in time in our lives. There is no one without stress. That is the truth. Individual stress now depends on what causes the stress. So our today's focus is on stress. Yes, stress. Stress has killed thousands of people. So before we take a look at why it happens and how it affects our health, let's take a commercial break. You're watching Healthy Living with BOFA Health and Nutrition Talk Show. We'll be right back.
There is this saying that you are what you eat. This is absolutely correct. You see, eating right is when we get all the essential nutrients our body needs from the food we eat daily. And these are minerals, vitamins, fats, healthy carbs, proteins, and fiber. The question we should be asking ourselves is, have I been feeding my body with essential food nutrients? Many people have been advised to stay away from certain food because they are very high in carbohydrates. But study shows your body system needs carbohydrate, which we call energy food. What is important is to go for healthy carbohydrate. Gari Didun is a super cereal that can supply your body system with all these nutrients. Developed by Ajogbe Foods and made from gari, cassava, turmeric, coconut, and lemongrass extracts. The nutrients you get from Gari Didun include healthy carbs, minerals, vitamins, fats, proteins, and fiber. So whether you are super healthy or have some health conditions as diabetes or high blood pressure, the expert nutrition advice is to go for Gari Didun. You can eat directly as snack or soak in water. You will love Gari Didun. Are you hosting or attending an event and wondering over a budget souvenir that will delight your guests and associates? Whether it's your party or you are supporting someone special with gifts and souvenirs, we would like to work with you. At Ajogbe Foods, our focus is on healthy living through the provision of safe, hygienically packaged and nutritionally rich foods. We can customize and package our products: Ajogbe turmeric Gari Didun, Ajogbe white Gari, Ajogbe rice, Ajogbe beans, and Ajogbe honey in sizes and prices you can afford as souvenirs and gifts that everyone loves. For your special orders, purchase and resale inquiries, contact us today through the following: 292 Murtala Mohammed Way, Yaba, Lagos. You can telephone us or send WhatsApp to +234 705 534 2424 and +234 705 656 56 59. For US order, contact Berg and Bewem Services at +1347 613 5485. Bringing you Gary Didun.
Welcome back from that break. That is Gary Didun for you. You can call the number and just order for yours. It's good for any underlying illness. If you are having diabetes, you're having high blood pressure, you're having high cholesterol, think of any underlying illnesses. I mean, health problem. You are good to go. You can eat it, you can snack on it, you can also soak it in water. It's good to go down in your body. Yes, so welcome back again. It is going to sound ambiguous if we have no idea of what stress is all about before talking about the effect or what happens after that or what brings this around us. So let's first have clear understanding of what stress it's all about before we can go into detail. What is stress? Stress is your body's reaction to pressure from a certain situation or event that goes on around you. It can be a physical, mental, or even emotional reaction. It depends on anyone or how you handle it or how you allow it to reflect on your body. Because the human body is designed to experience stress and react to it. And that stress you are looking at, it can be positive, which we know as eustress. It can also be negative, which we also call distress. It becomes positive, for instance, when we got a job promotion or we are being given greater responsibilities that keep us alert and ready to avoid danger. This is positive. Stress becomes negative when we face conditions, continuous challenges without relief or relaxation between challenges. It becomes negative. As a result, we become overworked and stress-related tension builds. Human belief or mentality, I would say, is that stress is intensely painful. That's what we believe. Everybody thinks that stress is painful. We believe it is very excruciating. Of course it is. That is the way you see it. And that is exactly the way you will handle it, the way you will deal with it. That's the way you will treat it. However, not all stress is bad. Like I said, we have positive and we have negative stress. It can make you more aware of things around you and keep you more focused. In some cases, stress can give you strength and help you get more done. Yes. So it depends on the type of stress you are going through. It depends. It doesn't have to be negative and it doesn't have to be positive. But what you have to focus on is you don't let your stress become negative. Because when it becomes negative, that is when it becomes illness in your life. Now, how do you know you are going through stress? This is where symptoms will be addressed, because this is the only way you can understand that you are going through stress. When you begin to see the symptoms, and we have acute and chronic stress. These two types of stress will tell you, in fact, the symptoms of both will differentiate them. Will tell you whether this is acute or this is chronic stress. That's the only way you can understand that this is going on in your life. Sometimes you can feel stressed for a short period of time. Usually, this is nothing to worry about. Like, for instance, when you need to hand in a project or you have to talk in front of a group of people. At this point in time, you may feel something is going on in your belly, such as butterfly in your stomach. You feel like vomiting. That means you are nervous. Yes. And some people, they start getting sweaty in the palms of their hands. Oh, what mama showed me. That is stress, and this is acute stress. You feel like, seriously, you become nervous. These are considered acute stress. And this type of positive stressors are short-lived, and your body's way of helping you get through what could be a tough situation. Now, what is chronic stress? This is what I'm going to emphasize really, really bad on. If you now let your stress spiral on for too long, it can have damaging effects on your physical, mental, and emotional health. Of course, at this time, you should know that I'm talking about chronic stress. If you experience things like any effects on your physical look, your mental health, even your emotional health is being affected, that is when you now need to be aware of the warning signs of chronic stress so you can take care of it on time. Today, we are focusing on chronic stress because this is a type of condition that puts pressure on us and negative effects, especially on our health. There are many effects of chronic stress on human body. And this includes physical effect and emotional effects. It shows on you that you are going through stress. And when you react to something, your emotions shows that you are going through stress. So it's physical and emotional. And it all starts from emotion before appearing physically on your body. Now, physical effects of chronic stress will show signs like headaches. When you begin to have headaches, when it's time to go to bed, they start having headaches. It happened to me multiple times. I'll begin to have headache, and that headache will radiate to my part of my body, always, all the time. That's the sign that I always see that I'm under stress, headaches. Another thing is trouble sleeping, or you sleep too much. You can have muscle pain or tension. You can develop digestive issues problem. You can have change in sex drive. You can develop high blood pressure. This is to tell you that high blood pressure is not caused only by food, because many people believe that too much of sodium, salt, is the only cause of high blood pressure. No, stress can cause it. Stress can be the cause of high blood pressure. It's not only food. And when it comes to emotional effects of chronic stress, signs like feeling that you can't get things done will begin to feature in your life. You begin to feel moody. The anxiety will set in when you are nervous. you're so apprehensive, when you're so fearful, it shows that you are so much going through anxiety. You are nervous. Or when you keep muted all day, you don't want anybody around you. Moodiness. Another one is restlessness. Of course, when you are nervous and worried, you won't be able to sleep. You won't have ability to rest or relax as a result of anxiety. And lack of motivation will set in. You will begin to have hatred for something that always thrills you to do something. You begin to hate everything around you. You begin to feel aggravated. And this is a big deal because it's a sign of major depressive disorder. It's a sign of schizophrenia. It's a sign of Alzheimer's. What is Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's is the common type of dementia. It is a progressive disease beginning with mild memory loss and possibly leading to loss of the ability to carry on a conversation and respond to the environment. It is a gradually progressive condition. Yes, Alzheimer's is a gradually progressive condition. And stress can make it progress to dementia. And what is dementia? A dementia, because people mix things up when they are trying to tell you this is an Alzheimer's disease. And when you look at the signs and symptoms, they are actually telling you that this is dementia. So I'm telling you the difference for you to know what dementia is and what Alzheimer's is. Dementia is a major neurocognitive disorder which affects memory, thinking, and interfere with daily life. It interferes with everything you do. You can't just remember, you can't just know anybody, you can't just see people as your family. You lost your memory. You don't recognize anybody. That is dementia. And this is common for ages 60 and older. You see this going on with elderly people from age 60 and above. So be careful how you manage your own stress, because we must one way or the other go through stress in life. But how you manage yours is the problem. And this is a sign. Is a sign that you are going through stress. The next sign is irritability. Irritability. You begin to feel irritated about everything around you. You become impatient or angry about everything, especially over little things. Obviously, one is sad if he or she feels this way. And this results in depression, which is the last sign I'm going to mention. Depression. And this is a life sentence. Once you allow depression to set in, mental disorder. Sometimes you feel like you have too much stress to handle. If you think you just can't manage it, you need to seek for help from a specialist, mental experts, mental health experts. Talk to your primary care doctor to see if they can help you or any of your family that is going through stress. Determine whether what you are experiencing or what the person is experiencing is stress or an anxiety disorder. Because there's a difference between stress and anxiety. Stress, like I said earlier, is your body's reaction to pressure from what that anxiety causes you. Literally, it's a pressure from a certain situation or event. Technically, when you allow the stress to overwhelm you, that is when you begin to feel anxious, worrying, and fearful about the situation. This is stress. Yes. Why the anxiety is when you frequently have intense, excessive, and persistent worry and fear about everyday situations. The result of anxiety in your body is now becoming distress. That is why you see many men out there and women out there that are going through turbulence in their marriages. And it looks so obvious that something is wrong with them. I mean, they look so worried, haggard, and they start losing weight unnecessarily. Why? Because they don't want to talk about it with anyone. And in a moment, you don't want to share your problem with others. I mean, you decide to carry it alone. You want to carry your cross by yourself. You don't want anybody to help you. It will definitely overwhelm you. That is what we call stress overload. It becomes overwhelming for you because you chose to be moody. You feel restless, less motivated, and irritated towards every goddamn thing around you, including human beings. And what do you develop in the end? Sadness. And if care is not taken, if you don't manage it carefully, and you end up with depression, oh my goodness, mental disorder. And mental disorder is an emotional, psychological, and physical illness that could take years to heal or even become a permanent health problem for some, because they couldn't withdraw themselves from this disorder. They allow it to overcome them. They allow it to overwhelm them. And when you have stress overload, you begin to experience signs like panic attacks, worrying all the time, feeling you are under constant pressure. You begin to drink alcohol or doing drugs to deal with your stress. You start overeating. You eat this, you eat that, and what's happened after that? You gain weight. You become obese. Or you start smoking. You will start withdrawing from the family and friends. And you end up dealing with depression. And this is a big deal. It's a very big problem. When you are so depressed, you would think about nothing than suicide mission. You become suicidal. This is where the problem is. And that is why we are advocating, we are advising that please manage your stress, control your stress, because there's no one in this life that will not go through stress. You may be young now. It's waiting for you when you get older. In fact, by the time you finish, even from your high school, your stress has started. I'm going to get there very soon. Now, what causes stress? After all, something must cause something, isn't it? What causes stress? If you are being bullied, you can be under stress. In school or at work, if you are being bullied, that can cause you stress. If you work too hard, those of you that work 3 jobs in the diaspora, this is for you. You need to work on it. You either reduce it to 1 or 2, or you reduce your hours of work. If you can reduce the number of days, you can reduce the hours of work. If you are working 30 hours for 5 days, really, 5 times 5, 30 times 5. You know what that is? That's 150. 150 hours. I know some people do this. You either reduce your days or you reduce your hours. If you lose your job, of course, this is inevitable because you need money to bring food to the table for your family. So we can avoid this. If we lose job, we are going to go through stress because you need to look for another job. And in the process, it's not going to be easy. So this is stress for you. Again, you need to know how to manage it. But if anybody tells you that you will not go through stress, that is a lie. Another thing is your marriage or relationship problems can put you under stress. This is even common. Trust me. Lots of people have lost their lives to this type of stress. Many people die in this toxic marriage or relationship. They don't want to get out of it. They deal with the stress alone. Some will not even say anything. They will not speak out. Even when people see it physically on them that this is a stress, you are going through stress, they still insist that everything is okay until they die in it or they get hurt emotionally. Or they start having depression, like high blood pressure, which can result to heart attack. Another one is recent breakup or divorce can also cause stress. Neo, I like this one better than stress from marriage. If you divorce, it's better to go through stress than losing your life in a toxic marriage or relationship. Because if you are able to escape, like you break up, you give yourself break, you separate or you divorce, you'll be able to manage your stress while you are still alive. But if you are in that relationship, that toxic, terrible, turbulent relationship, and you eventually, by lucky for you, you die in it, there won't be any chance for you to manage your stress. That is the point I'm making right here. But if you are so lucky and smart to break up, to separate or to divorce, you'll be able to just manage your stress. Of course, we've seen a lot of, breakup marriages, divorced people that come back later to marry themselves back. We've seen that. It's only in Nigeria that you will see divorced, couples. They will not talk. They will not do anything together. Here in America, when they divorce, you still see them having sex. Ask anybody. You still see them taking each other to restaurants, taking each other out, and they've already divorced. I'm telling you, maybe they separated because they want to have their life back. Maybe they want to manage the stress they are going through that time. You don't know what happened between them in their marriage. They just want to be separated. So there's no grudges between both parties. So they are able to manage it. But if you are not able to manage your own, it's so chaos that you eventually get hurt or die in that marriage. There won't be any chance for you to manage it. So that is why I said breakup, divorce, or separation is better than marriage or relationship problem that puts you under stress. Death in the family can be a cause of that stress as well. Of course, we need to grieve over the loss of a family. That is okay. It is perfectly okay, but do it in moderation. It will become a disorder if you don't manage this type of stress. pray, God forbid, it won't happen to us in Jesus' name. But if it happens, please, let us manage it. Let us take it cool, easy on this. I know when it comes to grieving, oh Lord, it's just too much to bear. But please do it in moderation. Family problems. This is even crazy for those of us that live in the diaspora. You know why it's crazy for us? Because every problem, the burdens of our family back home are on us in America, in overseas. We put your problem, your burdens on us. Yes, we run up and down. Actually, those of you that are building house in Nigeria, some have sent the money that can build three different houses, and they are still building one house for the person. Not enough for me. Some have, elderly ones at home. They want to call you today. Mama is sick. You run to work back home. You send money. Papa is sick. And Papa is not sick. Mama is not sick. They're just using you as ATM. And you are working like, oh my goodness. But they'll call you. Can you relieve me today? Can you cover this? Oh Lord. So family problems can also put us under pressure. And this is, of course, it's a stress on us. Busy schedule. Instead of, I've said it, when you have family problem, it turns you to robot. You begin to work like, oh my goodness, like tractor. Busy schedule. Instead of your regular 40 hours, you are doing 80 to 90 hours to make more money. Recently, we just heard about a lady that was going to work. And at the train station, she just collapsed and died. Now tell me, who spends the money? Who will enjoy the money that lady made? Are you telling me that the government will send the money to the family in Nigeria? No. And meanwhile, she was doing 3 jobs because of family problem. Or if let's say because of her own problem. Why? What is the problem? Maybe she has family back home. Who knows? Maybe she's building a house. Nobody knows that. But one thing I know is for sure that for you to be working 3 jobs in this America or any part of overseas you find yourself working 3 or even 2 jobs. For you to be working 2 jobs, there must be reason for you working 2 jobs. You either building a house or you have bukata, nile, tofegbo. You have responsibility you want to take care of that your 40-hour schedule cannot take care of. That is why you are working extra job. If you don't have anything, any commitment that I just mentioned, there is no reason for you to work 2 or 3 jobs. Yes. Another one is recent move. Of course, relocation can cause stress, but this is temporary. Move from one place to another. You want to move from one state to another state, or from street to another street, from borough to another borough. Yes, that can cause stress, but this is just it's a temporary, incident. And the last one I'm going to mention is difficulty in school. Perhaps you are struggling with your grades, because if you have a good grade in this country, in school, you get scholarship. So some people want to try and make sure they get good grade. That can impose stress on such person. If you are struggling with your term papers, here is not like Nigeria. Every semester, you must write a term paper before you can graduate from that semester to another semester. And you write term paper for each class. Each class you write term paper is what I've done multiple times. So this is a stress on you. School projects. Maybe you're writing your PhD, you need to submit your projects, or you have your bachelor degree that you need to submit your project. This can also, all this can impose stress on us. Just take it cool. Can you now see that all we do is dealing with stress every day? We all deal with stress one way or the other at some point in our lives. There's no way you can do without the stress. Even with your regular 8 hours, that one is even enough. You wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you shower, you go to the kitchen, you eat, you dress up, you go to work. From work, you do sort of things, 8 hours, you're coming back home, whether you are going through maybe you commute by train or you drive, you are going through stress. Now imagine if you are leaving a job to another job. That is killing, let alone the one that you do 3 to 4 times a week or a day. So we go through stress in life, but how individuals handle that stress is what matters. And that is what is very important. That's what's important. If you handle it carelessly, if you handle your stress carelessly, seeing your stress as a problem, that is when it becomes an illness. But if you see and handle it like it's nothing to worry about, that is when it won't hurt you. The question is, how do you see your stress? Nothing or something? If you see your stress as something, that means it doesn't exist. If you see your stress as nothing, it means it doesn't exist. But if you perceive it as something, it means it does exist. Then you will have to deal with it. Because what you don't see, feel, or touch does not exist. It doesn't exist at all. That is just the truth. Please be careful about how we react to any situation around us. Why? Because of our health. Now, how do you diagnose stress? How is it diagnosed? You see, all this I'm doing, I'm stressing myself out. That's why I'm drinking water. Man of faith, sorry, show. How do you diagnose stress? The diagnosis is done through mental health specialists by some questions related to, number one, whether a traumatic life event happened to you within the past 3 months. They want to know whether you have gone through traumatic lifestyle in life. They want to know whether your stress levels are higher than usual when you react to situations at home or at work. That is what they want to know. They want to know if your stress might be related to grieving, or if you have a mental disorder that might be linked to your stress. These are the questions the mental health practitioner will ask you before they can recommend any treatment. Based on your answers to these questions and other areas you talked about, we help the specialists in recommending the appropriate treatment for you. Now, before I tell you how to manage your stress, let me tell you what the stress will impose on your health if you allow that stress to overwhelm you. So what are the effects of stress on human health? How does stress affect our bodies? That's what I want to talk about. Look, our bodies react the same to stressors, the same way. Your body will react to stress, so it's the same way my body will react to stressor. That is because this response is your body's way of dealing with tough or demanding situations. It causes hormonal, respiratory, cardiovascular, and nervous system changes in your body. Stress can make your heart beat faster, can make you breathe rapidly, can make you sweat, and make you tense up. It can also give you a burst of energy. This is known as the body's fight or flight response. It is the chemical reaction that prepares your body for a physical reaction because it thinks it is under attack. Your body thinks it's under attack. This type of stress helps our human ancestors survive in nature. Yes, it helps our human ancestors survive in nature. Distress, which is the negative stress, can lead to physical symptoms including headaches, upset stomach, elevated blood pressure, chest pain, and problem sleeping. I've mentioned it earlier. I'm just telling you how the stress affects your body. It also confirmed that stress also can bring on or worsen certain symptoms or diseases. So stress can do many things to our bodies, from an increased heart rate to nausea, sharp muscle pain, and tension headaches. I told you that's the sign that tells me that I'm going through stress. Headaches. I start having headaches. When you are stressed, your heart works harder and your immune system may not work as well. Your immune system might only shut down. It can shut down. Another manifestation of stress is the continual feeling of fatigue. You feel weak. Why? The impact on your body causes fatigue. The impact of that stress causes fatigue. Therefore, stress can damage your heart because stress hormones increases your heart rate and constricts your blood vessels. And that is why stress also becomes harmful when people use alcohol, tobacco, or drugs to try to relieve their stress. Unfortunately, instead of relieving the stress and returning the body to a relaxed state, these substances, the alcohol, the tobacco, the drugs, tend to keep the body in a stressed state and cause more problems in the body. Now, let me tell you how your body responds to stress naturally and how it will also affect your body. Through a combination of nerve and hormonal signals, the system prompts your adrenal glands located atop your kidneys to release a surge of hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline increases your heart rate, elevates your blood pressure, and boosts energy supplies. While cortisol, the primary stress hormone, increases sugar, which you call glucose, in the bloodstream, and enhances your brain's use of glucose and increases the availability of substance that repair tissues. And the cortisol also curbs functions that will be non-essential or harmful in a fight or flight situation. It alters immune system responses and suppresses the negative system. I mean, the reproductive system and growth processes. This complex natural alarm system also communicates with the brain regions that control mood, motivation, and fear. Can you now see how stress affects motivation, mood, and confidence in you? Because your brain region that controls mood, motivation, and fear has been affected. Yes, that's been affected. That's just the way it works. Now, let's talk about food that help reduce stress. Don't forget, this is health and nutrition talk show. We just finished talking about health part. This is nutrition segment now. Let's get it done. I've gone through stress in life and I was able to manage it. I was able to overcome my stress. I got over it. And that is why you see me today looking beautiful, looking happy, and dance every time. And that is basically what I do. I dance away my sorrow. I dance away my stress every day. I eat good food. I experiment on good diet, healthy diet. And these are the food I experiment with to get rid of my own stress. You can do the same thing. And what are these foods? Stress diets should consist of lean proteins, healthy fats such as olive oil and avocado, beans, legumes, nuts, and seed, which also contain a high fiber content, all of which contribute to stress reduction. There's one diet we call traditional cuisine, and it's typically high in vegetables, fruit, whole grain, beans, nuts, and seed, and olive oil. This diet is called Mediterranean diet. You can try it. I also experiment on eggs, nuts, seed, and yogurt. But you can also add turkey, cheese, and warm milk. Heat your milk a little bit with, to a certain temperature and drink. Or when you have your pap, you can add warm milk to it. So I don't normally eat cheese too much because of, body reaction. Because when I'm allergic to something, I don't like to eat the things. I just stay away from that food that give me allergy. So, but if you are not allergic to turkey, cheese, milk, you can add it. All this will give you another nutrient known to reduce stress, which is called tryptophan. We call this food, the nutrients that reduce stress, tryptophan. Google it. Food that contain tryptophan have been shown to have a calming effect on the body. So eat food that contains tryptophan to calm your stress. It's a type of nutrient in your body. tryptophan. Tryptophan. Google it. You want to try combining some food. And what are these food? Fruits, veggies, yogurt, peanut butter. Combine it together in a smoothie. Yes. And this promotes additional nutrition for your day. You might also try a cup of chamomile tea. If you want to sleep naturally, drink chamomile tea. You will sleep naturally. Finally, you can also or always add a multivitamin for additional nutritional support to this food. If you see any multivitamins that have all these fruits, vegetables that they make with yogurts, veggies, peanut or something, go for them. They can help you manage your stress. Wow. If you see all I've said today as nothing, and you still want to end it because you are going through stress, if your option is to commit suicide or you are thinking of hurting someone or hurting yourself, my dear, sweetheart, come. Let me tell you my story. I will tell you today that this is not the option for you. Yes. Suicide mission is not the option for you. Definitely not the best remedy. It's not his choice at this time. Your future is so bright and fulfilling. I see you flying with wings like an eagle. So you don't have to end it. All you need to do is to sit down, think about your life, think about what causes that stress and do away with it. Stay clear of this situation. Excuse yourself. If it is human being, avoid them. If it is a location or something that you do, it could be habit. Stay away from it. Avoid it. Avoid them. If you try all these steps, all these stress management strategies, all these stress management steps, but they still don't help you manage your stress, the only thing I would advise you to do is to talk with your doctor about seeing a specialist. You can't do it yourself. You can't do it alone. Your doctor will refer you to a mental health expert and provide you with additional resources and tools. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. If you cannot manage your stress the way I managed my own, that means you need help. And there's no other person that can help you except those mental health practitioners. Yes, please, don't let stress seep into your life. Please, avoid them. Avoid anything that can make you stressed out. In recap of all I've said so far, stress is any change in the environment that requires your body to react and adjust in response. Bam, that is stress. And don't forget that human body reacts to these changes with physical, mental, and emotional responses, which makes stress a normal part of life for human beings. You cannot avoid it. Many events that happens to you and around you and many things that you do yourself put stress on your body. Believe it or not, this is what gets us into trouble. This is what gets us into this stress lifestyle. And you can experience good or bad forms of stress from your environment, from your body, from your thoughts. So ability to know how to manage your stress is the key. Ladies and gentlemen, stress can affect your overall health. Be careful. Don't let stress seep into your life. Let me stop here so that I can come back next week with more information on health and nutrition. Please share this show with friends and family. It is very important you do this. You know why you want to do that? Right now, as we speak, thousands of people are going through stress and they are thinking of ending it in a moment. So you need to share this show to save life, to help them get out of it. Please do this and get rewarded by God. Let's meet next week for more information on health and wellness. I remain your host, Bofa, an advocate for wellness. Have a productive week, everyone. See ya next week. Good night.
Thank you.